You got tired of his emotional immaturity, and now he is watching his peace disappear. There comes a time in your life that your spirit gets exhausted of explaining your pain to people who only understand your silence when it benefits them. You got to that point. You reached that point, and something deep inside of you finally told you that enough was enough. The emotional immaturity that once surrounded your life became too heavy to be ignored. You had carried it for so long, and now you were tired. You could not ignore it anymore. At this point, every conversation turned into blame. Whatever you said, whatever came out of your mind, of your mouth, turned into a problem. They saw nothing good from what you said, even what you did. Every honest feeling was twisted into a problem. Every tear was treated like weakness instead of something that was sacred. For a long time, you tried to hold everything together because you believed that love could heal the situation. You continued to stay patient. Even when your kindness was taken for granted, you didn't bother. You continued being kind. You continued to understand them, but the disrespect kept growing. It grew around you. Many nights you spent them wondering why someone who claimed to care could still make you feel unseen. The more you tried to bring peace, was the more chaos entered your life. A person who refused to grow emotionally would eventually damage every relationship connected to them. The truth became impossible to avoid. Your silence was never a weakness. Your staying calm during painful moments did not mean that you lacked wisdom. Walking away from arguments did not mean that you had nothing to say. But in reality, your spirit had already started recognizing that the environment in which you were was unhealthy. Emotional immaturity often hides behind pride and manipulation and denial and selfish behavior. Instead of taking responsibility for their actions, immature people search for someone to blame. They look for someone they can just remove the blame from them and put on him. Instead of apologizing sincerely, they defend themselves. They defend every action that hurts others. Instead of communicating with honesty, they create confusion and then act surprised when trust disappears. A powerful shift began the moment you stopped carrying burdens that never belonged to you. You didn't know how to say no. You tried to please everybody. You tried to make everybody comfortable. But the energy changed because you finally chose yourself. You had neglected yourself. You had chosen everybody except yourself. And now you decided to choose yourself. And heaven saw the tears that fell quietly behind closed doors. Every painful experience taught you discernment. On the other hand, every disappointment opened your eyes wider so you could see better. What once controlled your emotions slowly lost its power over you. Your strength returned little by little, and peace started entering into your heart again because you were no longer feeding situations designed to drain your spirit. You had learned and you were growing. The same people who ignored your value are now facing the emptiness created by your choices. Nothing around him feels stable anymore. The comfort he once enjoyed is disappearing. Rest has become difficult because guilt is following him everywhere. Emotional immaturity always creates destruction in the end. A person may avoid accountability for a season, but consequences eventually arrive without any prior warning. What looked successful in the beginning on the outside now begins to collapse from within because there was never truth holding it together. There was no iota of truth in it from the beginning. And what is not built on truth is bound to collapse. Many people misunderstood your departure. When you left, some believed that you were giving up too easily. They thought you were quitting. Others thought you became cold and distant. Nobody truly understood how much pain you had endured before deciding to protect your own peace. Walking away to you was not simple because love was still present in your heart, but wisdom became louder than your emotions, and your soul recognized that staying in a place filled with emotional immaturity would continue destroying your confidence and your joy. Something important is now happening. The same man who once acted careless is beginning to realize that your presence brought so much into his life. Calmness surrounded him when you were near. Stability existed because your maturity balanced situations that could have turned destructive. Encouragement came naturally from you, even during difficult moments. Your genuine care covered many of his weaknesses without him noticing. After losing access to your energy, confusion has started growing inside his own world, and nothing feels the same anymore because peace cannot remain where emotional chaos rules. His life is full of chaos. Sleepless nights are becoming common with him, and regret is slowly speaking louder than pride. The people who once encouraged his behavior are unable to fill the emptiness you left behind. Temporary distractions cannot replace a sincere connection, and running away from the truth only displays the lesson, because deep within himself he knows that your absence changed everything. Right now, your spirit should not mourn what God has removed from your life, because he did so for your protection. Certain relationships survive only because one person keeps sacrificing their emotional well-being to maintain them. The moment that sacrifice ends, the entire foundation begins to shake. That is exactly what is happening right now. You stopped abandoning yourself for people unwilling to grow. And once you reclaimed your emotional strength, hidden problems became impossible to hide any longer. Right now, you have to keep moving forward without any guilt. Continue protecting your peace without fear. Trust that your decision saved you from deeper emotional damage. What left your life was not capable of giving you the healthy love you deserved in that season, and better days are ahead of you.